and welcome to a very nice conversation with our special guest today, Azaan Sami Khan. And सबसे पहले तो उनका जो स्वागत है तो वो तो अच्छे से होगा ही होगा, बट आई गेस आपके लिए आगे एक बिग सरप्राइज है एंड थोड़ी सी आपको एक आइडिया आ गई होगी कि हु इज अजान समी खान विद हिज बिकॉज ऑफ हिज सरनेम एंड सो ऑन. But सबसे पहले I would like to introduce myself. Hi, I am RJ Aayushi from RadioNyra Rally Drum Station, which was previously Radio Mirchi Rally Drum Station, and it is available on 3 different frequencies, that is 99.9 FM HD4 and 101.9 FM and 1490 AM in the US.
Hi, Aayushi. Thank you for having me and such kind words. Thank you
so much for your time today.
No, thank you for hosting me, and I'm very grateful and looking forward to it.
Yeah, so my first and foremost question is, how was it for you to grow up in a musical family? Like, what was the atmosphere while growing up? Because this interview is going to be regarding your personal journey also a little bit and also about the album.
I think music has played a massive role in my life. I keep saying that मेरे लिए एक साथी रहा है music, and more than everyone probably assumes that because I come from a family that's from the entertainment industry, okay, it was some sort of pressure कि यही काम करना है or anything like that. It's not the case. I think it was more like you were exposed to a lot of things, and it was a lot of fun, honestly, because it was exciting. My parents had exciting jobs. They got to make music. My friends knew what my parents were doing, and it was quite cool. It was a big flex a lot of the time. That's what. But the thing was, the truth was, it allowed me to really understand the back end of how all the work happens from a very young age, and understand what really goes into it. So when I meet somebody who maybe comes from a different family or different line of work, they see the entertainment industry as a very glitz, glamoury kind of world, which it is. It's not like it isn't, but they don't see the other side of it. What goes into achieving those results, what's the work behind it. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm very, very privileged and grateful to come from the family that I do, and I consider that a massive responsibility, and I take that very seriously every day.
Yeah, that's really nice. Like, you growing up in that thing and you saying that it was the biggest flex, I can totally imagine. Like you going into your friend circle saying that, "Arey, this is my flex." Karke.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, the truth is that stopped being a flex after I turned like 9-10 years old.
Okay.
Because I have 2 kids of my own, and mashallah, and so when my son right now, he's going to be inshallah 7 this year. So whenever I see that at this age he thinks it's cool that his dad makes music and does all this stuff, but in a few years it's going to start being irritating, because it's going to, he's going to be annoyed. Okay, Baba, don't come to school. Baba, don't stop doing what you're doing. So that's gonna come. I'm sure it came for me as well. It happened for me as well. I remember my dad had this जब lift करा दे release हुआ था. So I remember this doll was made of my dad doing the classic lift kara de step. And I remember I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And then after a few years, I went through that whole teenage phase of being like, guys, stop it. What are you doing?
Oh God.
But obviously it's been amazing.
Yeah, but how did your journey start? Like, you grew up, obviously, like this is your debut album right now, but before that you've worked as a musician for many years now. So like, what was your first work ever as a musician?
I think as a musician, the first thing that is released of mine is I had done a song for Priya Darshanji in a film called Bam Bam Bole. And that was when I was around 14 years old. So that was the first composition of mine that actually was published and released. Uske baad I felt, I went back to studying and went back to, trying to learn more and stuff. And then, slowly and steadily I got into film scoring, like, soundtracks for movies. And I've done that for the past few years. And now I think the transition seemed very natural. That एक तरफ आप फिल्मों के लिए बनाते हैं एक narrative को एक director की vision को you support it and you try to bring that to life, and then you parallel to that you run a stream which is about stories which are of your own life, which is what independent music is really about. If anybody wants to get to know an independent artist or a music artist, you should you end up listening to their work, and it ends up having a very biographical essence to it, which is what even the album this album has for me. कि वो कहते हैं ना कि my life is into it. If you want to get to know me, just listen to the song and you'll
Just
probably get to
listen
know
to
me
the
pretty
song.
well.
Yeah. I was about to ask that how was the transition for you, but you already answered. Like how was the transition from movies and everything? Because वहाँ पे एक storyline होती है, उसको पढ़ के according to the scene and theme and everything. But this was your baby kind of thing. This is your debut album. So what was the inspiration behind this debut album?
The inspiration was to tell, as I was growing up, as I said, music हमेरा साथी रहा है और उसने मुझे सिखाया भी है, मेरा वो कंधा भी रहा है, जिस पे रोया हूँ, और वो दोस्त भी रहा है जिसके साथ बड़ी खुशियां मनाई हैं. And it's been there for me in a very, very emotional and very concrete way. And through my life, as they say, that you have a lifetime to make your first album and a year and a half, 2 years to make your second, which was a saying from before.
Yeah.
So this album is an accumulation of ideas, moments of my life thus far. I'm 26 years old right now, so whatever's happened so far, this album represents that. I feel a bit lost sometimes. जो एक meme है ना, I don't know if you've seen that meme of Pablo Escobar sitting confused with
like that.
nothing
He's
but
standing there with a poker face. Yeah,
poker
everywhere.
face. कि मैं अब क्या करूँगा जिंदगी में? That is my current situation. अभी तक तो सब हो गया. चलो अब जिंदगी में situation create करते हैं जाके कुछ गाना बन जाए उसका.
But yeah,
so
those situations really help you as a musician. No? Like you said, you write down what you have experienced and what you have been experiencing your whole life. And that is what exactly is reflected in the album, I guess. So, जैसे कि आपने कहा कि I would really request the fans कि if you want to know Azaan Sami Khan, just go and listen to the album. But अब मुझे थोड़ा सा diverge करना है. I actually heard that you wrote a screenplay for the movie Superstar, and I was totally like mind blown कि he actually writes songs, he composes music also, and he has written a screenplay also. So I would love to know the story behind that screenplay wala thing.
Aayushi, you're making it sound much cooler than it really is. It really is not that cool. No, it isn't. वो कहते हैं ना कि I keep saying this, that मोची के घर मोची पैदा होता है. Which so it's no credit to me. I've been very blessed that I've been born in an environment where you see these things on a daily basis. So with as far as Superstar is concerned, Superstar was an extremely organic process of I had some songs which I had composed. It's probably a very wayward process of a screenplay. Whenever I hear other writers how they write movies, I'm like, अरे यार मैंने तो ऐसा नहीं किया था, मतलब सही तरीका इनको पता है, मुझे तो पता भी नहीं है. But it was literally like I had a few songs and a few melodies which were I used to think यार इस धुन पे ना ये होना चाहिए, लड़का लड़की को यूं देख रहा होगा, चलो एक सीन लिखते हैं. And वो करते वो सीन को जमा हुए and it started tying up as a story. And some people came along and they seemed to like it and they said okay, we'll be a part of it. Mahira Khan ji being one of them, and she was very kind and has been the pillar that I have turned to at every different points in my life, and she supported me and guided me throughout. And she was one of the first people to believe in Superstar, and वो उस तरह से हुआ था. So I never claimed to be a screenwriter. I don't actually even claim to be a musician. I think वो title जो है वो बहुत बड़ा है और बहुत बड़े लोगों ने वो टाइटल रखा है. तो किसी दिन मैं जरूर बोलूंगा कि I'm a musician when I feel that I've reached a certain place of skill. I think there's a long way to go.
Now I think you can actually call yourself like that, because you
not
said कि आपका
not yet.
पहला गाना was you composed your first song at the age of 14, like a prodigy. So I think all these years, almost more than a decade, you have been working as a musician now. So
yeah, this is this would be my 12th year working professionally.
Oh, that is wow. Starting so young. So you have this huge experience wala potla kind of thing. So after the movie's success, did you realize ki this is something I want to do? Like I would continue something like screenwriting or screenplay writing in the future?
The thing is, I almost did, because the truth was that when Superstar आई, so I remember I asked my mother. A few people had contacted saying कि जी हमारे लिए write for me. And my mother is a very grounding force in my life. So she said to me, she said, देखो बेटा, या तो तुम दुकान खोल लो और हर काम करना शुरू कर दो, लेकिन ये तुम याद रखो कि तुम स्क्रीन राइटर नहीं हो. तुमने एक स्क्रिप्ट लिखा है तो जाओ, जिंदगी गुजारो, कुछ मजे की चीज बनेगी तब लेकर आना, लेकिन just for the sake of doing it, don't start doing it. And I agreed with her because Superstar was a very natural thing that just came to me. The music came very, very hand in hand with it. And when that happens again, there are ideas in my head I'm toying with. But when something clicks in the same manner, then I'll say that, okay, I'm doing something else. But I'm not like, aggressively pushing the idea कि जी फौरन एक नया next screenplay कौन सा होना चाहिए या next film कौन सी चाहिए or anything like that.
Okay. So we will be waiting for that कि जल्द से जल्द वो तो सारी natural forces है, they join forces and they join hands.
Absolutely. The thing is, in this profession, there's nothing. Everything is collaborative. There is no one-man show at all. चाहे वो गाना हो, चाहे वो जिस तरह अगर कोई एल्बम का गाना है, आज मैं बैठ के आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन मेरे किसी भी गाने में या किसी के भी गाने में वो शख्स जो आके गिटार बजा रहा है या बांसुरी बजा रहे हैं, वो उतने ही कंट्रीब्यूटर हैं जितना मैं हूँ. And they all own the song the same way. It's just my luck that I get to sit here and talk to you about it, just because of maybe because I sang it or I composed it. But each person is an equal contributor to the work. It would not be possible without them. And
that is really nice to hear, actually, that you're acknowledging all of them who has worked behind with you for this album. And
but it's true, because
it's true. That's why. But I haven't. Yeah, but I've there are very rare, very less people who actually acknowledge the fact that, I say, पूरा ये collaborative thing है. So that's why it's really thank you so much कि आपने उनको इतना अच्छे से acknowledge किया. But throughout the process, what was your one memorable moment of while making the album?
I think one that I will never forget was that Rahat Sahab, Rahat Fateh Khan Sahab, he was kind enough to bless the album, and I remember and feature on it. And I remember when I'd worked with him once before on I'd met him. He's always been very like an elder brother and like a mentor, has always guided me and stuff through time. I'd recorded once before with him, so I remember कि वो जो उनका एक process होता है कि आप पहले उनको गाना भेजते हैं, वो सुनते हैं, if they like it, then they end up doing it. But I remember with this song Meri Sajna Re, which is on the album, they said कि हमें भेज दो. And with the album I've done experimental things which maybe films would not allow me to do. So I remember I said कि मैं भेजूंगा नहीं, मैं आपके पास आऊंगा. And he lives in a different city, and I said मैं आपके पास आऊंगा, सुनाऊंगा, अच्छा नहीं लगा मैं चला जाऊंगा. That is what I had said to him. So I flew there and I went to his studio, and he was going to come in a little while. And his entire team sitting over there were looking at, they heard the track, and they were looking at me as if कि बेचारा को जाना पड़ेगा, ये होने नहीं वाला. But he was very kind and gracious enough that when he heard it, he kind of understood where I was going with it. And only when you're at that skill level of where he is, can you take something that is out of your comfort zone and fully make it your own and own it. So that was a lot of fun, to see his the daringness, the freedom of expression that he has, because his skill is at that level. That was a huge learning curve for me. I was like, I want to work twice as hard for the next 20-30 years so that maybe I can be somewhere around that, not even close, but somewhere in that realm that he is.
Yeah. So is that the favorite track of yours from your album, I guess then?
आयुषी जी, आप कह रही हैं कि मैं अपने बच्चों में से एक को चूज करूं, तो ये नहीं होने वाला.
But पता है मुझे कैसा सवाल था, but it's really hard. But एक ऐसे होता है ना कि
there is a song that I have a lot of faith in. I have a lot of अल्लाह का शुक्र, I have a lot of, कहते हैं ना कि अपने काम पे ईमान है मुझे कि इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह ने चाहा तो I hope it connects with people, and I've done the best that I can. The rest is up to God and the audiences. But there is one song that is in my native language, which is in Pashto, because we come from a Pathan family. So it is in Pashto. And that is a song that I'm very, very, I have a lot of faith in, because I know that the Pathan audiences and listeners are very faithful and they're very loving. So I just can't wait to get that song out, and then inshallah in concerts be performing that song with people and singing and getting people who may not understand Pashto to sing a few lines in Pashto. I think that is something that is on my, it's on my bucket list. I want absolutely.
Yeah. So before pandemic, were you doing active concerts? Were you actively in concerts or live?
So not really. No. So because I hadn't sung yet, so I hadn't gotten into concerts. So with the album, the whole point is that now the next step is, once it's safe for audiences to come out, to get into a tour. So we're planning that right now. to be able to take the songs and perform them, then perform the film songs that we have put
Yeah,
out over the past few
composed,
years.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Okay, so now that you have successfully launched your album, successfully done your debut, ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जो आप up and coming musicians को बताना चाहेंगे with your experience?
I think don't overthink. I don't think I'm in a position right now to guide anybody.
But that's why I
मैं
said, like, according to your own experience, your personal experience,
yeah, it's a
what would
very
you?
limited experience at this point, but I will say that you don't overthink it. Just put it out. Everybody is going to give you advice. Everybody apparently knows how success is achieved, but nobody really knows. I think try and be honest to your work, and that's what I've tried to do. And so far, people have given me more love than I probably deserve, and I'm very grateful to them. So I'm saying, just do the best you can. Don't compare yourselves to anybody. And I think I know these things sound very vague. They sound like fridge magnets, but it kind of is true, though, however
Yeah.
annoying it may sound.
No, it is not sounding annoying. Why would you say that? But like you have now your debut album is here, but ऐसा कोई genre है जिसके साथ you want to experiment, like you really want to experiment with the genre, but you think कि थोड़ा सा risky हो सकता है?
I don't think that I've never sat down and said कि आज हम इस genre का music बनाएंगे. जो आता है वो naturally आता है. I think in the music that we live in today, the music that's being made, where people have become very open to different sounds. It's not इतना bracketed नहीं है कि जी ये sound है तो सिर्फ ये लोग सुनेंगे. So therefore, I think I just want to, my biggest होता ना कि अंदर से तलब जो है वो यही है कि बस गाना लोगों को पसंद आ जाए ताकि मैं एक और कर सकूं. That is always the thing कि बस इतना गुजारा हो जाए कि कुछ लोगों को अच्छा लग जाए ताकि लोग बोले हाँ चलो एक और गाना कर दूंगा. So I thank God every day that I get to do something I absolutely love doing, and as long as I get to do it every day, I'm happy.
That's really nice. You're so humble. I am like very, very floored by this. You're so humble with all of your experience and all of the things you have done till now. But फिर से मैं थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी सवाल पूछूंगी कि आपने जो मूवीज में गाने कंपोज किए हैं उसमें से एक एकदम मेमोरेबल गाना, एक बहुत ही मेमोरेबल एक्सपीरियंस, ऐसा कुछ आप शेयर करना चाहेंगे? मेमोरेबल मोमेंट.
A moment, or like what's like an important song to me?
हाँ, important song and उसके पीछे की छोटी सी स्टोरी. What is the story behind the process of that song?
There's a song in the movie Superstar called Bekara. Bekara ishq mein tere chaldi. That song I had written the day of or the day before my daughter was born. So it was a very will always hold a very, very special place for me. It's a song that is kind of beyond होता ना कि success and failure. It will always remind me of that. I had a lot of reservations with the video of that because it ended up being a very beautifully shot, beautifully performed dance video. And I was like, नहीं ये लड़का लड़की वाले romance के बारे में गाना नहीं है. This is about limitless love. It's about love beyond man and woman. But no, they did a fantastic job in it. And I'm really grateful of how it's happened. But that song holds a very important place for me. And other than that, मुझे dance गाने बनाने का बहुत ज़्यादा शौक है. Like unapologetically dance songs I love making. And I think that's a family problem. Like, even my father loves making dance tracks. I love making dance tracks. And sometimes people like, think, कि ये ज़्यादा अजान romantic type गाने बनाता है. So I get very charged. I mean, अभी मैं सबको खड़ा करके dance कराऊंगा. Okay. So the next song that's coming out of मैं तेरा, the album, is a song called Tu that we gave a little snippet of at the end of the video, and that's out and out dance track. So I'm very excited for people to.
So हमें उसकी थोड़ी सी झलक सुनने मिलेगी यहाँ पे अभी.
गाने के end में है. गाने के end में.
Okay. तो आपका जो but मैं तेरा की झलक सुना दीजिए, like the title track.
Sorry, Aayushi, time is up.
Yeah, sure. We'll wrap it up then.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah, okay. So just एक आपकी तरफ से एक, जैसे अभी आपने लाइन गुनगुनाई थी सर, अजान सर, आपकी तरफ से एक एल्बम का आपका जो, जैसे आपने कहा कि राहत फतेह अली खान साहब के साथ जो गाना है वो बहुत ही स्पेशल है, तो उसकी एक लाइन प्लीज हमारे सारे लिसनर्स के लिए.
चाहे तुझे वो जैसे भी कैसे लबों पे तेरे मेरे कलम लिखे रातों को ढूंढे तेरी ये नजरें, आंखों में उसके मेरे छुपते गिले, नसीबों में बसे दिलों के फैसले, सदियों की मन्नतों से भी मिट न सके, जब प्यार भरी आंखों से देखो मुझे, यकीन है कि खुदा भी देख के हंसे, मेरी सजना रे। ये बोलता
Wow,
सुनता हूँ।
wow, I'm just like slow clapping here. वो जोर से सुनाई नहीं देना, but yeah, I'm just clapping. Thank you so much,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, and all the best for your album.
Thank you
I
so much.
would like मैं सारे listeners को ऐसा बोलूंगी कि just go and listen to मैं तेरा album and just groove. मतलब आपने जो dance number कहा है, like we're waiting for that dance number to groove. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time,
you so
and
much,
thank you
Aayushi.
so much
Thank you.
everyone for joining us in this wonderful conversation with Azaan Sami Khan. And मैं हूँ आपकी RJ Aayushi on RadioNyra Rally Dream Station, which was previously Radio Mirchi Rally Dream Station. Now it's RadioNyra Rally Dream Station, and it's available on 3 different frequencies. That is 99.9 FM HD4 and 101.9 FM and 1490 AM in the US. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay happy. Bye.